started. Hello, good afternoon. Hope you're all well. A little bit later, but we set up to get started and we had a few people in the workshop, so it's always nice to be able to share what's going on. You should be able to see what we got there. I'm just going to check everything's working okay. So let's just check. Yeah, I can hear everything, so that seems fine. Right, what we've got on the scroll saw, we're going to show a few little methods that we use to make quite simple boxes. So just to explain what we've got on this one, this recess was cut out. What would you call those? The cutters that you used to use to cut out the clocks? You know, the cutters used to, on the, basically what it is, it's on the,
not keyhole saws.
I'm not sure. Somebody explained to us, but they're round cutters.
Keyhole saws, I think.
Perhaps one of you, if you've seen this, you can explain to us, to remind us what sort of cutters they were. But basically, that's been cut out by one of those cutters. And this is the first technique then I'm going to use, because it's some scrap wood that was used for another job that we got left over. That has been cut out. And so what I've done, I've marked on this piece of wood, that circle, that will actually be stuck to the lid of our box. So it sits inside like so. And then we've got two layers glued to the bottom. So that will be a base that is glued to the box itself. So when we cut it out, it's the same shape and size. And then we're going to have the lid as well. So I pre-prepared this, and it's just to show you how simple it is then to make a box. So starting off, I'm going to cut out this little thin piece, which is quite challenging really, because I'm using a number 9 blade. Really speaking, I should be using a lower number blade for doing this, because it's so thin. But it'll do the job, it'll be fine, we're not going to worry about it. And then when it comes to doing these ones, we're going to carry on with that number 9 blade. I looked at this one, it's one I've had in there for a while. It looked fine to me, it looked like a good blade, so I thought we'll keep that and see how it gets on. I've got some number 12s here, just in case I do need to change the blade, and I got my spanner there as well for changing them. So let's get into it, let's demonstrate making some different jewelry trinket boxes, that sort of thing. Oh, there's a comment there. I'll just check who that is. That is Sawyer Rob. We are live. We are indeed. Thank you for joining us again. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, great to be doing a little bit of scroll sawing for ourselves here in Wales on a Monday afternoon. Let's get started. It would help if I turned the plug on the scroll saw. So that's a good start. It's a false start, Thomas the Woodcarver. I haven't turned the scroll saw on. See, that's Thomas the Woodcarver has become very, you've become very energy conscious, haven't you?
I definitely have, yes.
And he comes in and he turns the plugs off, and then I forget and I don't turn them back on. Right, let's try again. Let's start scroll sawing. There we go, that bit breaking doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to ask Thomas the Woodcarver the first of what will probably be a few favours. Could you sand that one down to the line, close to the line? That little piece, see what it is, just to show you before Thomas the Woodcarver takes it away, that piece just sits inside there. Although actually, let's have a look. yeah, it just needs a little bit taken off it. For a second, I thought it was going to fit. But that just sits inside there and it secures the lid in position. So if you just sand that one down for me. And now, and it just, this hopefully will show you just how easy it is to make simple boxes. The Carver, hello, hope all is well. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we're on to doing some trinket boxes. I haven't forgotten as well about that design. I'll get it across to you. Hope Liam's on the mend, hope he's recovering. And yeah, hope the preparation as well is going well for the Bigfoot Festival. Right, so we got that piece. We will check that one.
Give it a try.
Give it a try, and that will fit in lovely. It's a little bit, you've got a little bit of movement on there, but we want that, so that's absolutely fine. So we got that one there.
I left the line in.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. There we are. That's just what we wanted. So that's ready to go. And a lot of this, when it comes to the jewelry boxes and the trinket boxes, yeah, it's getting the right orders to do them in. Right, so let's just explain the process then of how we go about marking that, making it, that sort of thing. So we have got, right, and again, Thomas Woodcarver's coming back in, so I'm going to get him to help me out again by sanding that one in 2 minutes' time. 2 minutes, I'd explain the process. So basically what we've done,
You don't want me sanding now.
yeah, it'll be 2 minutes once I've explained it, and you can, if you could sand it, that'd be great. So what we've done, the first piece, this, the main body of our box is this piece here. And what we've done, first of all, I've just got a pencil and I've marked, or in that case it was a pen because I couldn't find a pencil, and I marked the shape that I wanted this piece that just sits on the inside. So that's the first part of the process. The next thing then that I do, I super glue a thin piece of wood to that main body. So that then gives us the base, and I super glue it all round. So we know we're gonna have that base is gonna be perfectly the same shape because we're cutting it out at the same time. I then super glue a piece of wood, but what I actually do with that one for the lid is to put 4 little dots, 1, 2, 3, 4 little dots in the 4 corners of that piece of wood, but I don't put it on on the same way. As I've super glued that base, I want that to stay on. I've done it in a way that I cut that at the same time to get the same shape and size, but I don't actually stick it in the same way so it stays stuck. I make sure I can release it. And then what we're going to do from here, I don't know, did that make sense, I'm not sure that it, hey? I'm asking Dad if it made sense there, but I'm not sure if it did or not. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually super glue this piece here. So I'm going to grab my Starbond super glue and I'm going to stick that piece there to the lids. And I'll put it all back together, give it to Dad. He can sand it all so we get a nicer finish around the outside. Excuse me. What have we got there? The carver. Thinking I need the swift kick in the... Oh dear. It's one of those, is it? It's one of those. Trying to get motivated, to get moving. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Preparation needs to be underway. So, let's have a little look. We're going to line that up where we get the grain roughly in the right direction. So, with a spray of the accelerant. And I... Actually, I've got this one now, the Starbond, and I find that one, for me, is easier to control than the spray. Find it lasts longer too. So, what I'm going to do, a little bit of the Starbond super glue on that lid, on that piece for the lid like so. And then we're going to try and position it so it's in the middle, roughly just... about there. Hopefully that's going to be about right. Just hold it down. This is where the accelerant's really good because it dries quickly and we need it to dry quickly to make this. So there we go. I think now, I think I'm just about ready.
Okay, I'm just going to drill some holes.
There we are. So you can see that box is going together like that. So as quick as that, as quick and as easy as that, we've got a trinket box. And then from here, what I want to do is we put it like that and we get Thomas the Woodcarver. He's going to have to, I'm going to be putting him under pressure there because he's going to have to work it out, judge it by eye. And then from there, what I will do, and I'll do this after he's sanded it down for me, I'll do a little carving, little design on that, and you've got yourself a nice, simple little trinket jewellery box. You can hear a lot of coughing in the background. That's Thomas the Woodcarver. He's coughing a bit there, to say the least. Oh, hello Aubrey. Hope all is well. Thanks for joining us too. Yeah, we're just working out here. We're just starting with our bot. Right, what I want you to do, you're going to have to work this out by eye. Because what I want you to do is to round it all off. But see that, if you round all of them off at the same time, right, then it's either, I would say that's the best way around. So if you sand it all around and then prepare it in terms of a finish product. So if you do some sanding on that one, is that okay? What I do find is that you have to hold, you have to hold that one. Right. Otherwise it'll drift off a bit.
Yeah. Why do I always get the hard draw?
I know. You got to judge that by, but that's the tricky bit with that, is judging it all by eye. There we are. Right, we're going to go on to, thank you for that as well, thanks Sid.
Use the sanding machine, alright?
That's fine, yeah.
Will the other one be alright over there, folks?
Have a look, if it's not, move the background for me, don't worry about it.
I'll have to
move.
Look, I'm just going to, if I move that way, just to shut the door.
There we are.
There we are.
Just like so. That's fine. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on to a slightly different style, a different way of doing it. So what I've done with this one, I've prepared the box ready to go, and the first thing I'm going to do is to cut the inside just like so, and what that will do, that will give us the piece to stick onto the base. The next thing then that we'll have to do, we'll go on, when we've done that, I'll go on to the next bit. So that's the first part of this process, is to cut that inside, and that'll give us the recess for the box, plus it'll give us that piece that fits into the lid. So let's cut that out and then explain where we go from there. Right, so we're just going to go back over that just to get a nicer point on the top of the inside of the heart there. And then we go on to the next stage of making this box. Right. I took off the ear defenders, not the mask, so you couldn't hear me. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to super glue. We're going to glue this piece. So again, I need my star bond, so bear with me 2 seconds. Right, so we've got the star bond, we've got the accelerant. And what I've actually done, I've given myself a few little notes. So this piece goes to the base, and this is going to be the box base. So I actually need our clear star bond super glue, and the accelerant just like so over there. Now I've got to make sure that when I cut this out that we get it marked out correctly. And I tell you what we could do with. We just need to sand the excess super glue that we've got left over on there. So what I'm going to do, if you can have a look at that one for me, dear. You could sand that one flat. I'll actually hand this one over to Thomas the Woodcarver, and if he can sand this one flat, it's just taking that excess super glue off there. Because what we're basically going to do, we're going to have the base of the box, which I've got here. So it'll be that box base, and we're going to stick that onto the main body of the box, but also cut out the lid at the same time. So that's why we need that sanded nice and flat. While we're waiting for that though, I will go through the process of cutting out that inside piece and the body for this little box as well. again, I'm going to have to ask Thomas the woodcarver. I'm going to have to disturb him again. What I'm going to do, see, this little piece, we're just... and if you're wondering what he's doing in the background, he's making a new house for the chicken. It's a new chicken coop. So what we need him to do, see, is to just sand that nice and flat where we've got that shape that we're working on. So when he gets a chance, you can have a look at that. And then we've already got then, see, cut out that piece. We'll have to find the right way. What way does it go in? Does it go in like that? Yeah, so that goes in there. So that's ready for going on the lid. And we've got that piece for going on the lid. Right, back to our other box. So now that Thomas Woodcarver has sanded that nice and flat for us, that particular one, we can then put some star bonds, some super glue around here and around here as well. And then with the other layer, so this is why I put notes to myself. So this is, I've labeled it as the box base. So it's just so I don't go and put it the wrong way round. But what we got to do when I'm sticking this, we got to make sure that top layer, that we've got it in the right position. Let's have a look. So we're going to be able to cut that out successfully. And that glue has worked already.
What do you want me to do?
We've got that one there again for sanding on the bottom. So now we've got that stuck together, we can cut this outline shape. And what that's going to do, I've pre-prepared, see, the base and the lids, sticking those together. I've now stuck those two bits to the main body. We cut the outline for the three, and then that's the bulk of the work for making these boxes. Let's have a little look here. Okay, just noticing a little bit of a puff of smoke, so it's putting that blade under a bit of pressure. So let's crack open a new blade and a number 12. And so if we have a look with that one, see how we get on. That blade I've been using the number 9 for a little while, but we'll try the number 12 and just see if it can cut more easily. Somebody mentioned as well in one of our, I don't know whether, yeah, it was in our last video upload on Wednesday. Somebody mentioned about taking the edge, rounding off the back edge of a scroll saw blade. Sounds like an interesting idea, something that we will look into, because if you can round it off, you know, in theory, it should reduce that burning that is caused when you turn the corner on the back of a blade. So yeah, we'll have a little investigate, see if it works out for us. arms are starting to burn a bit after that. Certainly putting them under a bit of pressure. So you can see that we've got that cut out. So that just needs a little bit of sanding. And we've also we've got that lid. So again, what I will do is it goes, which way around does it go? Our lid, is it slightly smaller? I think it is. I think our lid is a fraction smaller than the outside surround.
What's that you're making?
And there we are, that's Nico you can hear in the background. Just seen Gramps working on the chicken house.
Mummy said it was...
Let's have a little look. We're just working out which way round it's going to fit in best. I can see we've got a few comments there as well, so I'll just check out what that one is. Interesting idea to add the back and certainly can be done, but I think the real question, will it be worth the additional work? Yeah, exactly. I would say, personally, probably not. But it's certainly worth investigating, certainly worth finding out, you know, what sort of effect it does have. What I would say is for ourselves then, the best blade for sort of avoiding burning then I found is the this Pebeco one. I found that's really quite good for not burning. So what I'm working out at the moment is the best position for that the box lid. So that's what I'm working out. Because what happens, there is a little bit of an angle, because we're cutting such thick wood, there's a little bit of angle on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick that on that piece there. There we are, you can hear the boys are very impressed with the new chicken house. Right, so let's have a little look. We just stick this. Oh, now I'm going to stop there actually, because I did have a different idea for this. Right, yeah, I'm going to take that glue off there, because what we want to do with this one, I'm going to do something slightly different. So, Nico's here. Could you do me a quick favour, Nico?
Yeah.
Could you pass me over the sellotape? The boys are back. They are indeed.
I'll get the camera.
Hello, Sammy.
No.
Yes.
Sammy has the yellow sellotape. I have the brown sellotape.
There we are. This tape will do. Right, let's have a quick little check. And we're just going to put that on there. We need a piece of carbon paper. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one. Let's have a little look. We're going to use this. I'm just going to check that that's in the right position. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark out a butterfly. And we're going to cut that out as part of the box. So let's just mark it all out. And hopefully then Thomas the woodcarver will be back. And we're just going to mark out. There. Yep. Could you, I'm just going to mark all of this out. If you could then do the, drill out some holes for me.
Okay.
That'd be brilliant. There we are. So we marked out the one side. And then we're going to mark out the other side. Just like so. So you can see how we can make simple, we're basically using scrap wood that we're not going to be able to use for anything else in particular. But we can use that then and turn it into all sorts of different items. Let's have a look. Is that all marked out? We missed this line down here. There we are. So that is pretty good there. There we are. Good.
Okay.
if you can just do the pierce work holes on that one. Whilst he's doing that, here we are. It's just not on the inside. I'll carve the inside ones.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah?
That's it, spot on. Right, so this is the next one that we're working on again, this shape. And I need another lid and base. So we're going to have another lid and base. Here we are. So we've got with that one there, we're going to work out where the base is going to go. And there we are. So we're just going to glue around that one like so.
Okay.
There we are.
Oh dear.
Just in there. And then a little bit of the accelerant again.
I gotta drill that with a hand drill, alright? Hello.
Okay, so got to make sure again that we get that in the right position. And just like, check it out. Is that going to be right? Just like so. There we are. So we've stuck together the base and the body of the box. And then we're going to cut the lid out at the same time. So I have those 3 layers. We got the first 2 drill holes as well of that design. Let's have a look here. Yep, second right. Right, we've stopped the machine 2 seconds because my hands are getting tired, and there's also a warning to keep that the battery's going to go flat on the computer.
Okay.
So we're just giving it a little rest because it's quite a lot of stress that is on your hands and on your arms because it's quite a thick piece of wood that we're cutting out there. So we're just going to have a rest for 2 minutes. So 2 seconds recovery on that, and then we get into it and cut the rest out. Okay, let's have a little look. Right, so as you can see, the top has actually come away. That's no problem. That's not going to cause us any issues, because what we're going to do, where we've got that last little bit to finish off, super glue it back together, just like so. Make sure you get it lined up as close to being as perfect as you possibly can. Let's have a look. Just pick it up 2 seconds to try and make sure. That's great, thank you. Brilliant.
There was a gentleman from the dog bowl, you know.
Here we are. Right, so we're just, we got that lined up like so. Yeah, that's brilliant. And just that final little part, and that will give us the body, the base, and the lid for the next design. Okay, let's just check. How is that just looking? We've got a little bit of a rough patch in there, and as those layers have stayed stuck together, I might as well try and sort it out now as opposed to later.
That's just to let you know Sammy's doing another one.
There we go, that's not too bad, so I think we'll be alright with that. I think we could tidy it up a little bit afterwards. Okay, so the next thing we need to find is that one there. We need to make sure that we glue it together correctly. Let's have a little look. So that goes in like that, and like that. And if we're going to make sure that goes on correctly, we've got to make sure that this also goes on. It's easier to spend a little bit of time making sure you get this right. So that is going in there like so. And then this one, where's it going? Is it going on there like so?
Grant, I'm just going to grab the one I made, okay? Because Sammy needs
Yeah, it's that way. But if it's that way, let's make it... I think it goes the other way round. So I'm trying to work this out in my head. That one needs to go round. It can't, can it? It can't go like that. That's the wrong way round. It'll have to go on. It'll have to go on like that. That's the closest I can get it to perfect. Right, so that's the way we're going to go. First things first then, if that's the lid, it's going to go that way. That one goes like that.
Okay.
That one like that, and that one like that. And this one goes on like that. Right. I think we've got there. I think that goes on like that. And if not, we live and we learn. Okay. So that's what we're working out, is the correct way for that box lid to go on. And hopefully we've got that right. Okay, so let's try it. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So that box is just going on there. What I will do is to shape the edge there so it isn't smaller. That box lid is not significantly smaller than the body. So the next thing then I want to go on to, so you can see that's our little trinket box there. We've got a little bit of shaping to do on it. Next thing we got to do, I want my number 9 blade back. So the number 12 blade has done its job. We're going to change it back to a number 9 because it'll be a little bit easier for turning. Where's my spanner to change over? Oh, the spanner is is already there for me. I'm looking straight at it. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to cut out the pierce work for these different, for in and around our butterfly. And that'll be the preparation then for carving the lids. Okay, so if I can get this lid now sorted out. I've checked as well, I missed a few comments. I'm from Anglia, so it's a small, do you recommend spiral blades? Hello Lee, I'm going to go ahead and say you do not recommend spiral blades. Would that be because of leaving the work rough or something else? Right, we will answer. Nick would like, yeah, the carver has answered this. Yeah, spot on. I missed that little bit. Hello Lee. Yeah, basically, I don't like spiral blades. They, excuse me, slower to work with, leaves you more work afterwards, and generally, yeah, they're not my cup of tea. In theory, spiral blade should be great. The theory of a spiral blade, fantastic. The practice of a spiral blade, nightmare. That's basically how I sort of see it. You know, it's one of those things, what I always say is give them a go, see how you get on with them. But personally, I'm not a particular fan of spiral blades. That's sort of through my own experience of working with them. The theory is, you know, the theory behind them is great, where you can sort of work multi-direction. They create a lot more dust. The standard blade and the reverse tooth blade, they give you a much better quality finish. And for ourselves, you know, we're working on a daily basis with the scroll saw. And what I would say with it is that the finish you get off a standard or reverse tooth blade, this is the finishing work. And I'm just taking the Aris off, just taking that sharp edge off. But it's pretty good for the finish you get. Spiral blades, a lot more finishing work afterwards. Oh, there. Could you do me some sanding? Okay, I'll leave it then. It's okay. That's fine. So what I'll do with this, I'll just demonstrate how we're going to do. Okay, it's fine. I kind of. So what we're going to do? See, we're going to stick this one onto here, and. Yeah, we'll stick that one down just like so. There we are. And then we'll carve these so you'll see the bulk of how this particular project is going to go together. So yeah, spiral blades, more sort of difficult in terms of the control, that sort of thing. Right, and just comes down as well to personal preference. And personally, I've never particularly got on that well with them. So afterwards, I got some work to do to sort that one out. No, I'm going to go and carve them down. What we do, we're going to do some carving on this one now. So we go across to the workbench and we'll demonstrate how to carve with that one. See, I'll be fine. So we're going to do a few simple little designs. There's one more box that I made and I can't put my hand on it. Here it is. Yeah, this one here. So you see the three shapes that we got 1, 2, 3. Just a little bit of work just to finish those all afterwards on the sanding, but we'll just carve some simple designs to show you how you can decorate these. So bear with me and I will move the camera across. So this is the sort of simple process we use for making a scroll saw box. But by combining it with our hand carving skills, that's what we do on a lot of our projects, is to combine those different skills together to produce better quality. Not a better quality, sorry, to produce a product that's got that little bit extra interest in it. So, and what we do, that little piece, because it's the piece on the back of the box, because it's contrasting colour, it adds when you finish off the item, it adds a little bit of contrast to what you're doing. Okay, so let's just, like so, that's fine. Hopefully you can see that okay. Any questions as well, get them into us. I feel a bit like a blind squirrel. Find it nut from time to time. Yeah. Right, okay. We have, yeah. So what we're going to do, we're just going to finish carving out this particular design. So we'll start off by doing our stop cuts, first of all. So just working out where each of those lines for the butterfly are going to go. So that's the initial, is to just sort of have it ready for doing that preparation in and around that butterfly. And then the other parts of the butterfly will be adding those little bits of detail. And it's that central, the sort of body of the butterfly. Just looking at, there's a bit of super glue that's come through. So we'll have to watch out for that, try not to get that on the gouge. And then we're just getting that body of the butterfly like so. And then the sort of separation of the top part of the wing and the bottom part of the wing. Like so. Okay, and so we just work into, so we've got that stop cut, so that's where we cut down into the wood. We then cut into the body using that stop cut. And of course, when it comes to doing things like this, you can do all sorts of different designs. We do a lot of flowers, that sort of thing. And what other things we've done? Celtic designs. Trying to think some of the other boxes that I've made. Celtic designs, hearts. There's the daffodil is a popular one for us. You can go more elaborate. So for instance, you know, you can put a dragon or something like that. With ourselves being here in Wales, popular one to include. But the more intricate the design, the more complex the work starts to become. This is one method as well, a box that, you know, that I use quite a lot, is where you use that plate to secure the lid to the body of the box. But there's other methods we've used over the years, using hinges and excuse me. Anyone wondering as well, the wood that I'm working in today, one that we don't work in very often, but we had a few beautiful pieces of it there, is a piece of yew. And if you've never had a chance to carve it, well worth carving it, and also well worth giving a go in terms of scroll sawing projects. It's a lovely contrast you get between the heartwood and the sapwood. Oh, have I missed something again? Lee, spot on. I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. As I relate to the show, what woods are being used? They make a dust collector. If you use a blower instead of a vacuum cleaner, you'll be able to work with a scroll saw in a comfortable environment with less noise. Yeah, they make a dust collector. You use a blower instead of a vacuum cleaner. You'll be able to work with the scroll saw. I'm just thinking that we do use a blower. Yeah, ours is using a blower. It doesn't use a vacuum cleaner. So yeah, you can use a vacuum cleaner if you want to, but ours uses a blower. So that's the attachment that comes with it. It's basically the blower works off the bellows that's on the bottom of the scroll saw. So yeah, spot on in terms of you can use a blower. But that's the standard That's the standard sort of, that's the standard attachment then that comes with the Hegner is a blower. So no vacuum cleaner. It's just a noisy scroll saw. It's not too bad. But it's not one of these ones where, you know, you will see some working and they can talk over the top of the scroll saw as they're cutting out, but no, ours no, but it is working on the bellows. And the one that I use is the older design, so it uses it's like a plastic tube. The newer design is on Dad's, and it's like a purple hose. And it just blows the dust away from the line of sight. And then if you prefer, you can do the opposite and then add the an extractor or a vacuum cleaner, that sort of thing, if you want to. There is that attachment for doing it, but we've never used it. We've always just used the blower. Right, so we just got our depth and our levels that we want for our, and the other things then we have got here that maybe you could hear at different times in the background. We've also got the dust extractors, and the dust extractors we mainly use them for the belt sanders. Right, so we're just going to sand that around like so. Around the outside, just take away that sharpness. In and around our butterfly, just takes that sharp finish off. And then we'll add a little bit of extra detail to the butterfly. So let's have a little look. So we can add there you go, just shapes that. Get a lovely finish you do with the U. And especially when you put the shellac on it, you get that beautiful contrast between the heartwood and the sapwood. Missed another comment there, what have we missed? Guys, it's time to discuss a shipment of sandpaper. Yeah, we're on to we're back on this one here. It's the Hermes one. We'll have to. I haven't forgot some of my ideas as well. Time keeps moving on, and we've got to get ourselves organised. Right, so we got a little bit. There's a little bit of super glue just got in and around there, so we just tidy that up a little bit, just to sharpen the finish, like so. And then we'll do a few little circles. This is just to add some extra details now to our butterfly. Just finishing touches really. And one thing, if you do have a go at carving and scroll sawing with the U, you will notice a little bit of difference then when it comes to working in the heartwood and the sapwood. Generally speaking, the heartwood's a little bit harder, but it can be a little bit more brittle. And then the sapwood is a little bit softer and not quite as brittle. So let's have a look here. Where are we going to go? One there. Just doing it just a little bit freehand, just to add some. That's to the outside. That one's to the inside. I like so. And then that one there is to the outside. Just like so. And so what that would be then, we've got a little bit of sanding work and then that would be our finished trinket box. So I've got a bit of sanding work that I want to do in terms of getting this nice and even all the way around so we get a better finish. But a simple little trinket box with a butterfly on the top. These ones here then, just to show you very briefly, what we would do to finish these ones off is to just add a simple little flower. So start in the middle, or as close to it as your eye can get, because I've started, by the look of it, let's get square on, I'm slightly over that way. It's no problem for us, because what we will do, we'll just move it across slightly and just mark out a 5-petaled flower. So when we're doing this, this is the first little carving that we teach how to do. Do all your stop cuts first of all, so cutting down into the woods. And then afterwards, you use those stop cuts and you just cut into it. So one in like that, 2. So we do the 6 cuts that we can do going in the one direction. We can then turn it round in the vise, like so. Do our stop cuts in the opposite direction. Wow. I'm trying to think how many times I must have carved the whole meadow of flowers over the years. A simple design, lovely to do, and a nice way just to finish off a jewellery box. There we go. So that one then goes on like so, and the lid on top. I think the lid goes the other way around, does it? Yeah, so that goes on just like so. Simple idea, simple methods, nice little product to make, and something else that you can use your scroll sawing and wood carving skills to do. Thank you all for joining us. Any questions, any thoughts, remember to get them into us. Let's have a talk a bit. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm using Sips Industrial. Has blower and vacuum attachment, but I don't use the vacuum. No, I don't use the, as I said, we haven't got, there's an attachment to put a vacuum on it, but I've never used it. We need to find you a suitable replacement for that gouge. Yeah, that one, that little gouge, that's done, that's well beyond its working life. But unfortunately, there's no decent replacements I can find, so it stays and it keeps doing the job for us. But there we are. Thanks again for joining us. Let us know if you've got any questions, any thoughts on all of that, and we'll do our best to help out. Yeah, hope you all have a great week. And as always, we'll be back again soon. Thank you all again.